everything. We're going to have to go through all of our new stuff, get our technicians and our. So.
All right, at this point, we're joined by Tory Ozment. We'll take questions in the chat for Tory. We'll start with Audrey Dahlgren.
Hey, Tory, I would like to ask you a little bit about Tyre Parks and her game and maybe how she's progressed from last year to this year and maybe some things that you saw tonight that you wouldn't have seen last year from her.
Yeah, I think Tyre is definitely one of the most improved players that we have on this team. I think her mentality has changed. She steps in kind of a new role this year. She has to score for us. She has to rebound for us to be successful. And I think she's really taken that to heart, and she's a beast in there. I mean, she's strong. She's way stronger than she was last year. She's finishing really, really well, so we need that from her every game. And so I'm just super proud of her that she's kind of taken on that role, and she's really stepped up just being a sophomore.
And for you guys, too, to have 6 of you in double figures tonight, obviously that might not be the case every game going forward, but what does that say about maybe how you are distributing the basketball right now and the kind of game that you want to play as you enter the Big Ten?
Yeah, I think that just kind of shows our chemistry. We're sharing the ball really well right now. Obviously, you know, when you go into the Big Ten season, that may change. But right now, I think that's a really good sign for us as a team that, you know, we kind of know each other's strengths. We're sharing the ball well. We're finishing. So that's really good for us. And I think that's big going into the next game Wednesday.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Our next question comes from Eli McCown.
Hi, Tory. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Tonight you were really you did a lot of things. You were scoring, you were passing, you had 5 assists, 4 rebounds. I mean, when you have a game like that where you do all these kind of things, how does that feel? And then as well as Detroit, they play in a 2-3 zone tonight. I mean, when you've been known as a shooter throughout your career, when you see something like that, is that something that gets you excited when you know you're going to get more opportunities to be able to shoot the ball?
Yeah, I mean, you never can really control your offense, and when the ball's going in, you're going to have nights where it does and nights where it doesn't. So I think that start for me kind of, sparked me on defense too. And all those things that you said, like the rebounding, the assist, I feel like those are just kind of controllable things. Like I can do that every night. I can control my effort when I go crash the boards or how hard I play on defense. So I kind of have set myself to a standard that I got to do those things, not for myself, but just for this team this year and for us to be successful.
Our next question comes from Brian Calloway.
Tory, can you take me through the approach that you've taken this year, knowing that more was going to be needed from you?
Yeah, well, during this quarantine and this off season, I talked to Susie a lot about stepping into a new role, and being an upperclassman, me and Nia, I feel like we have to lead this team in a way. And obviously last year losing scores like Taryn and Shay, Coco, it's kind of like a next man up mentality. It's my turn to step into that role, and I think we can't just have Nia as a scorer. We have to have other people. So I've kind of taken that to heart and tried to elevate my game and not just being a shooter, driving the ball, being able to distribute, rebounding, running the floor. So I think that I'm just going to have to bring that into the Big Ten season too. These games aren't as competitive, obviously, but I think our next test is Wednesday.
And what kind of work did you kind of put into to gear up for that role?
Yeah, first I got my body in shape. This is probably the best condition that I've ever felt since being here. So I think I have a better motor than I have, so that allows me to be able to, play defense consistently and run the floor and all those types of things. So I did that, and I got a lot stronger in this off season. And then just, being able to drive and finishing. You can drive and you can get there, but it's if you can finish. So I did a lot of that, of finishing and also shooting too, to keep that good too.
We have time for a couple more for Tory if there are. We'll go back to Brian.
Tory, in your mind, where do you feel like this team is at for 2 games, and how ready are you for
Yeah, I mean, we're excited. These 2 games, it's kind of exposed some of our weaknesses, but also showed a lot of our bright spots, which is really good. So I think we can kind of use these games to work on those things because, you know, when you get into Big Ten, it's a dogfight every night. But I think this start and these 2 past games have been a really, really good for us. And I think everyone's just super excited for Big Ten play, and we're ready to get out there.
All right, Tori, that looks like everything we have for you tonight. Appreciate your time. Congrats on the win.
Yep, thank you.